Hello everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns here today with another preview or unboxing or whatever you want to call it. And I'm basically taking a look at some more airsoft rifles. You probably or hopefully have watched my my bullpup airsoft AEG preview unboxing that I just did, and I've kind of talked about what I'm doing with these guns. A little bit tough right now to do full field test videos just because of the weather. It's super cold here right now, but I do plan to hopefully kind of come back to these guns fairly soon and do some abbreviated tabletop / shooting videos all in one. Show you around the gun a little bit more detail than I'm going to do today, talk a bit more about it, and hopefully add a little bit of shooting, kind of like a one take, really quickly, just get some idea of how the guns shoot and perform. Okay, so today we're going to look at more of, instead of the bullpup, I thought I'd break them into two categories. These are more of the AR style rifles. You know, I know they don't all completely fall into those categories, but they're more of the AR style rifles. You'll see what I mean. And we have basically some G&G guns, and that are kind of three of them. They're just basically different barrel length versions of the three same guns. I'm not sure why I have all of them, but that's kind of what I was sent to review. So, I mean, I'm sure they're all going to kind of perform the same. So when I test them or review them, I'll review all the three G&Gs together and just sort of show you around them, just so you can see visually what the barrel lengths look like. But I'll probably only field test one of them. There's no point in doing all of them. All right, so let's start out with this H&K, and we'll take a look at it. I'm not even sure what model it is. We'll get into it, I'm sure, here in a bit. What does it say? Ah, here we go. A true unboxing. I know next to nothing about it. So this is the HK M27, again, an AEG 6mm airsoft. Excuse my cold. It's brutal. The cold is pretty much gone, but the cough will remain for a while. It just usually does. Sometimes I actually have to get on asthmatic medication to get rid of it. It's brutal. All right, so it's a metal gun primarily. There's metal parts, components, and not all of it, but I'll try and quickly point out what's metal. It's electric, semi-auto, full auto, 380 FPS, full metal gearbox, metal parts, high cap of 300 round mag, 7.25 pounds, authentic replica with hop up as well. Let's get into here, into the box. Take a look. All right, they've made it a little difficult. I'm not going to look at the manual. I'm going to open this. We have our typical AR style magazine. Okay, I'll come in a little closer to the. These are going to be fun to put back. Okay. That's the back. It's all wrapped up nice and tight. Okay, this gun is an Umarex gun, and as I mentioned in the previous video, get this out of the way, it will be distributed through the US, through Umarex USA, which means it's going to have a red tip on it due to the US regulations. Here in Canada, though, because it shoots up and over 360 FPS using 0.20 gram BB, we are not required to have any red tips on our airsoft rifles that meet that higher limitation. If it's under that, then it becomes more of what we would call a toy. But in Canada here, anything up and over that 360 FPS with 0.20 grams plastic BBs has been determined to cause serious injury, or can cause serious injury if shot like in the eye at close range. So it's not a toy again. Some people call these guns toys, but our Canadian government doesn't think that they're toys. And because of that, we're allowed to import these all metal, all black, no red tips, you know, because they're basically considered an uncontrolled firearm, right? And any firearm is not a toy here in Canada. All right, got that out of the way. I didn't really bring it up last video, but every once in a while I need to bring that up because people ask all the time. Okay, so let's get this in there. So you do have metal pop-up sights. I'll get in there, I'll show you in a bit here. You do have your charging handle here, which opens the dust cover. You've got your forward assist. You've got your fully adjustable stock, which is done here. Okay, nice. Nice grippy pistol grips. Got some nice texture to it. Rails all the way around, right? Not too long, not too short. Let's take a look up close now. Full semi and safe, of course. So let's take a look, okay? So this rail up front here is all metal. I'm going by temperature, and I believe that the receiver is metal. It's nice and cold. It's been out in the cold, so you can usually tell, you know, by feel and by the temperature. So full metal upper rail. Obviously, the stock Adjustable stock is plastic. The grip is plastic. The magazine is metal. The barrel is metal. Your iron sights look to be metal. Yeah, metal. The rails are metal. I mean, there's a lot of metal in this gun, okay? Dust cover, of course, is metal. You got your magazine released on both sides. Actually, that's not, yeah, that's, oh, interesting here. Okay, that's just your dust cover release, or your bolts, I guess it would be like your bolts. And there's your magazine release, okay? You have your safety, you have your semi and full auto, right? And the batteries in this guy, I'm not sure where they go, but it's potential. They might go in the back piece here. I'm not sure. I have to drill into this a little bit more. I didn't look at the manual or anything for that, but this butt plate does come off. So potentially the batteries go in here or in here, but it looks like, I'm gonna guess they go in the back. Okay. Take a look at the sights, iron sights. We can get this to focus. There we go. Iron sights, you can see the rails, right? Pop-up iron sights. Nice texture grip. There's your selector switch. There's your flash hider, but we can change that over if we wanted to. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this gun. Let's move on to the next set of guns, the G&Gs. Okay, pop that over there. Okay, we're gonna start with the shorter barrel one, and then I'll just quickly, we'll go over kind of the specs here, and then I'll quickly switch over to the other ones just to show you them real quick. So does it have any of the specs and everything on here? I'm not sure, but okay. So these guys, no specs. This is the CM16 SR5. Adjust my microphone. And again, it's a shorter barreled version. I think the specs might be inside. Now they are considered high muzzle velocity, but it doesn't really say what it is on here. But it's going to be over 360 FPS with 0.20 grams plastic BBs, no matter what. On the box, it's AEG, has a MOSFET motor, 300 high kappa magazine. That's all it's really saying in the manual. You know, you've got your selector switch and stuff like that. I just don't know what the FPS, I'm trying to find it here, but I don't see it anywhere. I've kind of missed out. If I find it anywhere, I'll just pop it up on the screen so you can see what it is. It doesn't really say much. Maybe there's some information here, I don't know. Okay, let's take a look at the gun. I've tried, couldn't find it. Okay, let's pop this down. So here's the gun. Again, you have your pop-up metal sights. At least they look to be metal, maybe plastic. Right, charging handle, pops the dust cover, right? Nice forward assist. Typical AR functionality. You do have this stock, which is adjustable and it locks into place using this little, basically, clamp here. You have your selector switch for semi-full and safe, of course, safe modes. Nice, cool looking magazine. Okay, it's really texturized. Now, this gun has a metal front portion here, but I believe the frame itself is plastic. The recoil tube here looks to be metal. The stock is plastic, of course. The grips are plastic. And I'm going to say parts of the magazine, most of the magazine is plastic, right? You do have this little red dust cover, but because these are G&G and they come straight to us from overseas, no red tip is required. Let's take a little closer look at this gun. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. When you pop that, it sort of removes this clamp so you can then adjust it. But you'll notice that if without it locked in place, it sort of stays there, but I can whack it forward. So what you want to do when you find your length is clip that in place, okay? And then it's not going anywhere. So pop that out, clip it in place when you're done. Okay, nice. It is definitely a nice stock. Again, I'm assuming the batteries go in the back here. You've got your flip-up sights. Let's get in here. Got your flip-up front and back sight, right? You do just pop them up, and that's like a peephole sight in the back. Charging handle, forward assist. You've got your dust cover, right? Your nice rail. Basically, you just have the top mount rail here, but you do have this nice, I guess, you know, barrel cover, right, that you can hold on to. You're not going to burn your hands, obviously. And there's your forward section here. If we can focus. Focus. So hard to focus sometimes, but there we go. Okay. You have selector switch, right? You do have a magazine release here in the bottom. And on the other side, you have a magazine release. So both sides, it's nice. Okay, got an area to put on a sling here if you want to. Pretty nice. All right, so that's the short barrel version. We'll quickly look at the other ones. Just quick, not gonna spend a lot of time. They're gonna have the same specs and everything. Excuse me. So slightly longer, right? Just a little bit longer. You know, that's a nice length, especially if you're a little bit, you know, longer armed. You might want something that's a little bit longer because you want to put your hand up a little closer. Even if you're like, you've got this back a little bit or even all the way, right? You might want to have your hand up nice and far forward. Depends on your arm length. If you like to keep them in tighter, you know, you could go with the shorter barrel version. Okay, let's pop this back. Oh, making so much noise here. All right, longest version. And by the way, that one is the CM16 SRL, and this is the CM16 SRXL, so extra long, I guess. Extra long or extra large or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is for someone who's into bigger is better. By the way, they do come with these little rods for cleaning and popping out any stuck BBs if you need it. Okay, so you can see this one's definitely longer. You know, maybe a little too long. I kind of like shorter guns, a little bit more compact. I don't think you're going to get much of a benefit in performance just because of the longer barrel length, but some people like the look of the longer gun. So if you like that, then you get the XL version. All right, that's pretty much it. So again, the G&G, right? The CM16s in SRXL, what do we have? SL, SL, and what's the standard version? And SRS for short, okay? And then we also have our H and K. And so those are the guns we took a look at today. Again, I'm hoping to do some abbreviated tabletop / shooting videos for you shortly. You know, I'll try and get outside for a little bit and get some of those field tests done for you as well. So make sure to come on down to replicaairguns.com, check out my article. I'll have a written article for these guns, just a basic preview unboxing article. I'll try and get a few pictures of them. Not a lot, but a few of each of them to post in there with that article. So I'll put the link in the description. So make sure to come down and check that out. And also, we have our Canada and US online replica airgun stores where we sell air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, airsoft guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. Of course, check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. That's pretty much it for now. Until next time, take care.